you help manifest with this person?
He shows you like where your blocks are. So like if I'm talking to him and I'm like for instance, I want to do a special and then I'll go, well, I really want a special, but I feel like I want my jokes to be, and he'll go, well, why do your jokes need to be like that? And I'll be like, because of that. And I'll go, well, who told you that?
Yeah.
And I go, well, I guess my agents or whatever. Do your agents know anything? I go, no. Or whatever. You know what I mean? Like he kind of just sees where you're limiting yourself and
this seems like therapy to me.
Yeah, but it's with like a solution. It's like immediate, like.
I like the solutions. I have a therapist, and he's just like, "Well, that's for you to find out." I'm like, I guess, but like, I'm such a yes or no guy. Like, just tell me what to do, and I'll do it. No, it's this coach is like, he's so awesome, and it's like, I just like learned how to make money from him. Like, I just learned how I was like money laundering.
I was putting all my money in the laundry.
No, you're putting on the money on your fucking bed as you're jerking off. That's the problem.
I was dirtying my laundry. I understand. I was
dirty laundry. Let's go.
Dirtying. We go with when you misstep in a word, we go with it.
Yeah, we have to. What are we gonna do? So this ayahuasca thing. I'm sorry to yes, I'm just fascinated by this shit.
Where do you do it?
Yeah,
it has to be Palm Springs.
Yeah, where and then what did it do for you?
2 places I've done it. I did it. Okay, so I met my ayahuasca shaman. He was in the audience when I was performing at the Comedy Store.
Okay.
And he was a thing. I'm telling you, like when I got off stage, I was like, who is this beautiful person?
Yeah.
Just amazing. It was him and his like apprentice. Whoa. So it was just a guy and a girl. And I just like, I didn't like my set. Like I was like, I'd gone on like a bad date that day. I was like annoyed. So I went like straight from this date and was like all pissed off on stage. And then like, they just were like good, positive vibe people. And I remember high-fiving him. And then the GM at the time, or I don't know what he was at that point. He was working there, one of the managers, was like, oh, later on, I'd been like chain smoking cigarettes. It was right after Brody died. So I was still like, going through it.
Brody Stevens, super funny comic.
Oh. He just was like our boy, he was at the Comedy Store like every day. So I was just staying late and kind of like smoking cigarettes in the back and just being like a bad girl. And then I go into the office and the GM is like, oh, my friend wanted to meet you. He just left. And he was like, you high-fived him. And I was like, oh, I liked that guy. And he was like, he's your favorite comedian. Or he said, you're his favorite comedian that he always sees here. And I was like, really? Because in my head, I was like, I just fucking blew. I hated my set. So I was like, okay. And then I was like, oh, he must be hitting on me. He's like, he's gay. I was like, okay. I'm listening.
I'll change that.
That's exciting. No, I just was like, okay. No, I do actually offer to blow him all the time.
There you go.
Nice.
But he, so then I was talking to him and I was like, oh, he was cool. And he goes, yeah, he's a breathwork teacher. And I was like, oh, I love breathwork. Have you guys done breathwork?
I don't know.
I've heard about it.
Breathwork's awesome. We should go to a fucking breathwork thing.
Dude, I'm very
tangents. Breathwork is for just to relax your
breathwork. Well, all of it is for the same thing. All of it is to like get yourself to the highest level where you can come yourself into a Netflix special. No, just like, the highest. It just helps you like level up. I don't know, in your life.
What's this thing? My friend taught me this. I don't know what it's called. You go.
Oh, I can't remember what that's called.
If you feel so fucking good, you do it for like a minute, three revolutions. Dude, it's like literally like drinking an espresso. Oh my god!
Yeah,
I saw something on TikTok where you put your feet up on the couch like this and it's a marine nap. You sleep for 8 minutes. I tried that shit, did not work. I am not cut out to be in the Marine Corps.
Yeah,
probably.
That's how you get
I have
fucking
my fucking ass ready to be eaten on my couch. It's me and my cat. And I'm like, why am I not rested? So breathwork.
I haven't got my ass
so he was like,
so
I'm a breathwork. He goes, I'm a breathwork. I was like, oh, I love breathwork. I want to go. And then he's like, all right, actually, I'm lying. He's an ayahuasca shaman. Yeah. And I was like, because I had put it out there. I wanted to do it. I was like, yes, I want to do it.
I want to do it.
And he's like, he's doing a thing this weekend, and someone just dropped out. Like, you can do it. So I called him up. I canceled my spots that weekend, and I just drove. He was doing it at this place in like near San Diego.
Okay.
This like yoga retreat center. And so I went and there were like 20 people and I brought like a bucket and a sleeping bag. And
did they tell you what to bring or you were just like guessing?
Yeah.
Is the bucket for urine?
It's to throw up, yeah.
Oh.
What type of bucket? Was it like a Home Depot bucket?
Yeah.
But like, what's the setup? What are you sleeping on? Like you doing?
You just sleep on like a pad and
dreams,
like
your vibes? Or?
But and then so the first day we did like breath work and then this mapacho, I think is what it's called. We chugged like nicotine, and that's supposed to nicotine's supposed to be the masculine, and then ayahuasca is a feminine. So then you do the masculine in the morning and it just makes you throw up and you just purge everything. But everything you're doing is like
spit,
kind of. Kind of, it's what it feels like.
Wow.
And you chug it and chug, like you take the cup of it and then you chug lukewarm water, like a gallon of lukewarm water.
A gallon for real?
Mm-hmm, and you throw all of it up. And it like cleanses you and it gets you ready for it. But it's like supposed to be like the masculine going in first.
Yeah.
And then they come in with the
pussy.
That ayahuasca puss.
That
but then, so the ayahuasca.
Do you smoke ayahuasca? I'm sorry.
No, it's a cup. It's like out of a cup. It's a drink. And it doesn't taste good. And then they give you like a grape. Like, oh.
A grape?
Yeah. But my shaman was saying it's like there's a sacrifice for like the medicine and like the bad taste is like one of the sacrifices, you know?
How much ayahuasca?
They pour like, they mix it with, I don't know what he mixes it with, but it was like poured to like, you know, the cup's like that big. Yeah, it's like that big. And then you drink it and it tastes, you know, not good. But they offer you 3 cups a night. So it's over 6 hours.
Wow.
And
so every 2 hours,
your
he
body's cleansed, and then you drink this, and then you're just.
And we do breath work before it, and then we do
And it's like very safe because someone's always watching you.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it's always safe, honestly, but it has always felt safe to me.
He's like watching you like spiritually.
Yes. No, like, everyone's watching you.
There's nobody from Kaiser Permanente there.
Yeah.
But like.
No one's in scrubs.
Yeah. So you drink it, and then what? You just start entering
some people have different, some people see a lot more. I have like I see, but it's more of like a rational sight. Like I can, like, I don't remember like, well, no, I guess I do remember how things look like. The last one I did was actually really weird. Not the last one, the second one I did. Cause you do 2 in a weekend. So I've done 6 times. I've done 3 weekends. The second weekend I did, the first night I had been dating this guy that like was like fucking with me. He just like didn't like me, you know, but then would also be like, should we have kids? You know what I mean? It was like, it was like a weird, I was like anxiously attached to this guy and I was like, I gotta get away from this guy.
I just want to jerk off in your mouth.
I just want to jerk you. I just want you to jizz in your own mouth. But you know what I mean? When you're like, you know that this isn't even the thing you want, but I don't know if it happens for guys, but you just like get like hooked. Like,
no, I get it. Yeah.
Yeah. It was just like I knew I had to get out. I just like, but I couldn't like pull the trigger because we were friends too. So then, and like kind of working together, but so the first night I was like, I have to just get rid of this. Like, I just have to end this. And because I even had told him, I was like, can you not call me during the weekend? I'm going to be busy. And he kept calling me. I was like, you don't listen to me.
Yeah.
But he just wasn't, I just was like, okay. But I was like, I got to get rid of, so the first night was like about that. So like before I went into it, I was like, I want to like cleanse myself from that feeling of like being like attached to men and just sort of like love myself more. So then the vision I got was, it's Mother Ayahuasca. So I feel the presence of like a woman come to like show me things. And so I had like, my life was a tree that was going up like this. And there were like branches on each side. And so I was like, all right, let's go through the branch where I marry this guy. Like where I'm like, all right, I'll just like make this work with this guy. So I went through the branch and we were like at his house and we had a kid. We like got married and we had a kid and we were standing over this crib in his house and the kid is like fucked up.
Oh.
I mean, ugly, like barely a human. Like it's like bones, like with skin over it and the eyes are over like on the edges. Like It was like folded up skin and it was breathing. And we were like, what did we do? We looked just like, we shouldn't have done this. Yeah. And then we both started to get old and shrivel up and everything got like really dark.
Wow.
And then we just died, right? And then I couldn't see the other side, but I could see like, I couldn't see exactly what was happening, but I could see like fruit growing on the tree and like brightness and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, I gotta be done with this motherfucker. Like there's no hope. Like anything, like if they would be the wrong choice. It was really cool. Then the second night I was like, what do I need to do for my career? Because this was like 2 or 3 years ago. And she was like, you have your guy audience. You need to bring up your girl audience. And she's like, and then she showed me like Powerpuff Girls, like 3 girls. Yeah. And then I had my fucking podcast with my 3 girls. And it brought me my girl audience. And I didn't even fucking remember. And it's totally what we're doing. And I realized it like in the middle of like on our like 40th episode, I was like, oh my God, this is exactly what I was told to do.
You should have said that out loud on the podcast.
I definitely have said it on the podcast.
Oh, really? Guys, it's happening. And they're like, anyway.
Yeah,
that's wow. So
and the podcast is huge. Like it's all of my fans are like girls now. Not all. No, I like my boyfriend.
We were at the comedy store together maybe like a week ago, and then we announced your name. It's like They so loud. They love you.
Isn't that so fun?
I mean, the podcast dynamic is awesome.
Because I've been there I've been there forever, and
it's just like they just need the eyes. Once the eyes are on you, it's like you already have all the work.
But I also like developed. I got better. I mean, I went through some weird phases at the Comedy Store. After Birdie died, I went crazy. I was like carrying on because I would go on so late. And they were so tired. Like half the audience would leave, and then they were tired. And it's not their fault. They're just fucking tired. So I would come out. Someone had like a fake sword in the back. I just came out and I would start like smacking the tables. Like I was just doing crazy shit just to wake them up and stuff. But everyone's like, do you remember your sword phase? I do remember my sword phase.
What's funny is you say in Los Angeles, that's like pretty normal. Your sword phase, like, everyone goes through that. It's like their Britney moment, you know? So,
but it's fun. Do you like performing at the store?
I love it.
You'd be a good pass there.
I would. That's like the dream.
Are you doing like development spots and stuff?
Some.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's more like just the belly room and the main room. But like that's a place I don't want to like rush it because I feel like that's like everyone like kind of like big Mad Dog energy. Everyone there is nice to me now, but I do
don't
feel
you think the Mad Dog energy is a thing we need to get over because
100%,
that's what like holds us back is like worrying about like what other comics think and stuff like that. Dude, are you passed to the cellar?
No.
Did you audition?
I never auditioned.
I never either because I was like, I don't want to fucking get rejected or.
Well, dude, because it's that, but it's also like in my head, I'm like, I just want to go where I'm like loved and like appreciated, and they're
like mean to you at the cellar if you're not passed.
But that's like a New York energy. You think,
it's so weird. I'm just like, what? I don't know. Honestly, I got passed right away at the Comedy Store. I'm one of the only people ever. I've always been able to park in the parking lot. But
girl, I've been paying $22 for that lot right up the fucking bitch. Every time.
But I do think that like, so I don't know what the experience of like not already being in at the Comedy Store is, but when people are like, I'm scared at the Comedy Store, it's like, I don't think people are shitty to people.
But I've been in LA since 2015. So since I've been doing like all the stand-up this whole time, they've seen me in the phases of like just a guy signing up for potluck on Mondays to now who is this guy moving tickets? Right. So, but now the appreciation is there. So like everyone's like very nice to me. I get that. But like, I think that meanness in the beginning is like good because now you're like, I feel like I'm not worthy enough in my head, but now they're like nice to me.
Well, we didn't deserve it. You don't deserve to just roll in you know.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm glad that it was like that kind of like the cold shoulder in the beginning.
But I think I got passed because I didn't know the Comedy Store was a thing. I had just been in New York, just like head down doing jokes, like just trying to get good there.
Yeah. Is that where you guys know each other from, New York?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, we know each other a long time. I know. I couldn't believe I was unfollowing you. Sorry. I mean, you weren't following me either, but that's okay.
You guys didn't follow each other?
No, it was so weird. Wow. I was like, holy shit. It's been good though. I've been enjoying it. No, he wasn't, but that's okay.
No, but now we follow each other. Yeah, and now it's over.
But I know I don't.
And in 2 weeks we can unfollow.
It is weird when it is weird when you're like friends. You're like, oh, did you unfollow? Okay, because I don't.
The worst is when somebody that you didn't want to follow in the first place unfollows you. You're like, I'll fucking stab your goddamn eucalyptus plants. All right.
I went through all of my. I had a dream. Okay, so the shaman I'm working with is like.
Yeah, I kind of like this. So I have a lot of questions.
Yeah, the
shaman that I'm working with told me not to do hallucinogens because when he was like very young, like maybe 13, I think he did what was it, 9 weeks I think of different hallucinogens. So they just gave him every drug. 13?
Yeah, I did that when I was like 13, but it was like to see what I was allergic to. You know?
Yeah, they're like bing, bing, bing.
Yeah, exactly. Wheat, flour, all that.
Ayahuasca.
Yeah. It was
all of a sudden he's fucking puking and shitting in a bucket. But so he did all of them and he said that it took like I think there were 52. I don't know if there were actual shamans or like the spirit of shamans had to help him like get back into his body. Because you go to like, you know, the places.
Yeah, how long does it take to just come back and be like, this is where I started? Or
with ayahuasca, for me, I was like a little. I performed the last time I did it was in Chicago, and I had zanies right after that, and I had a good 2 nights of shows, but. You know, I was still a little bit like a little more this, but I like being like that on stage. I'm trying to be like that all the time. Yeah. So really connecting. Like
so,
really,
if your shows started on like a Friday, you did it on like a Thursday.
I did them right before.
Wow.
So you're always still yourself, but you're just in.
You don't leave your you go places, but you're still you. It's not like you don't lose your like.
You think a lot of people get broken up with after ayahuasca retreats?
Yeah.
I feel like that's like, it only makes sense for the person who does it. Because on the other hand, it's like, yeah, this fucking crazy bitch went and did ayahuasca, then broke up with me. Mm-hmm. But now on your side, you're like thinking about it, you're like, yeah, I saw everything I needed.
Yeah, well,
it's also like, weird maybe to do ayahuasca and not make a life change. Like that would be odd to go through that like transformative whole thing and be like, nah, I think
I need to be an Amazon Prime member. Like, that's it. That's what I got out of this.
You don't want to do a thing. My shaman was like, because I had one that was very guilty because I was like, I realized I'd been talking so much shit on this like ex-boyfriend. It's actually the one I was just talking shit on. It's a habit I like. I don't know why. He's a nice guy. It's not his fault. He's a nice guy.
All
it's
right.
not his
Likes
fault.
to get jerked off.
He took his jerkins. But
took his jerkins is the saddest thing I've ever heard.
I had a whole
Come get your jerkins.
Just have a fucking dinner
It was
bell?
like that sad. It was that sad too. But I had a whole vision of him. I had a whole vision of not just him, but all the people that I kind of was like still had like the poison for, like I was still kind of like annoyed with or resentful towards. I saw my interactions with them on their side. So, which was good. It was good for me because it was like, like, I'm not right. Nobody's right. So it's like, I just have like the things that I want and I believe and my side of things.
And then did you like kind of forgive them after that?
I did. And then I felt so much guilt, and he just randomly addressed like afterwards in our sort of debriefing the next day, he was like, you know, if you guys are having some feelings of guilt and stuff, you don't have to reach out to the person and say anything. You can just start acting a different way now. And that was good because the guilt should just be a tool that shows you what you need to
learn from.
What you don't like about what you did and what you want to, because I don't want to be fucking one of those bitches that's like on my fourth step every, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Hey, come on.
Hey.
No, I like that. So let me ask you this. Who do you think has brought you more success in your career? Your agent or the shamans?
My shamans.
100%. 100%.
Would you cut 10% to your shaman?
Yeah.
Great. I love it. I need a shaman.
Yeah,
like I'm happy with everything I'm doing.
I'm gonna hook you up with all my people.
Dude, I
got good people.
Like off podcast, I really the ayahuasca thing.
And I've been
talking about this for the last like fucking month.
It's just so frustrating that my new shaman's like, you can't. I'm like, are you sure I can't? I can't.
Oh, can't do psychedelics?
He doesn't want me to do ayahuasca anymore because he said in his dream, and he can take me in dream time to like through an ayahuasca trip because he's opened all the portals.
This guy's a virgin. Listen, I think we all. But he
doesn't charge a lot.
Ayahuasca.
You know what I mean? It's like I'm not being ripped off. He doesn't like charge me a lot of money. Like I don't know what to say. Like he's got to be like there's no like.
Like what, are you just taking like NyQuil PM? Like what are you actually doing when you go there?
But I'm telling you, I've had crazy. Since I started working with this guy, I've had dreams that answer all my questions. Like I had a dream. I had a dream. Yeah, like I do think if I'm like, I want to do ayahuasca tonight, he could take me on an ayahuasca trip.
No ayahuasca.
Without ayahuasca.
What the hell?
Remotely, I have candles.
Remote ayahuasca?
How much is this? Do you pay him in like tranquility? How much is it?
Chakras.
How much I paid him a very small amount.
Okay, because
I could have always paid for
my
it.
therapist doesn't take my insurance, so I pay a lot for therapy.
Annoying?
Oh, it's the worst.
Also, can we address the thing I say all the time that we look
alike?
Is that annoying that I keep saying it? I love it.
Cameron, get a good hard
don't structure. I have fucking so much makeup on though. My real structure.
You guys look.
If I look crazy, guys, it's because I woke up a little early and I got on TikTok and I started using the filters.
Did you just type in like TikTok stiff socks makeup routine?
I bookmarked this girl that came up on they put like a thing on her face and like follow these lines. I was like, I'll try it, and then
so like a bunch of like contouring and shit.
Mm-hmm. So now I have like, I'm just saying I might not look my true self.